Good morning. Craig Howard here. Happy to be with you again this morning. Um, I was thinking about how this has been a good time of growth for me. It's been a time where I've spent a lot of time in the scriptures. It's been a time where I've spent a lot of time in prayer. Um, and it's sad that for most of us, it takes difficulties to put us deeper into our walk with God. Last night was a rough night. My leg has started, and I think it's part of the healing process. Um, my muscles have started spasming. Not all the time, but just especially sometimes when I'm sleeping at night, they'll just go into spasms and contract, and it's very uncomfortable. Um, and so it did that a lot last night, and so I didn't sleep a lot last night. Um, but each time it woke me, I would use that time as a time of prayer and a time to just say, okay, God, I know you're here. I know you know what I'm going through, and I really could use your help right now. And I was very aware of God's presence. I was very aware of the fact that He was there. And even as I would have those spasms and I would go through that, I would then go back off to sleep and sleep for a couple more hours before another one would hit. Um, and so, and then this morning I was up just doing the regular stuff everybody does to get ready for the morning, shaving, brushing my teeth, and I used the kitchen sink to wash my hair and wash myself all over and stuff that you have to do. But right now, it's much more difficult. And again, it reminded me of how difficult some people's lives are. But oftentimes it's those people that are going through the most difficult times that you find in the deepest relationships with God, because they don't take everyday things for granted. They don't take the normal stuff for granted, but realize that their strength, whatever strength they're going to have, it comes from God. Moses tried to warn the people of Israel of the same thing. They were going into a new land, into a promised land, and he's trying to prepare them. He's trying to talk to them. He's trying to prepare them about going into the promised land. And he reminds them not to forget God, because very soon they were going to be living in cities that they didn't build, behind walls to protect them that they didn't build, eating from fields that they didn't plant. And, he's trying to remind them, look, your life is going to become much easier very soon as you move into this promised land. And he says in Deuteronomy chapter 6, beginning in verse 10, he says, when the Lord your God brings you into the land which he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you, a land with large flourishing cities you did not build, houses filled with all kinds of good things you did not provide, wells you did not dig, vineyards and olive groves you did not plant. When you eat and are satisfied, be careful that you do not forget the Lord who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. I guess what I'm wanting to say to you is two things. Number one, if by and large your life is pretty easy right now, your health is good, you're able to go through your day pretty much as you desire, and things are going pretty good in your life, I want to remind you, don't let this be a time that you slip away from God in your self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency can breed a lack of dependence on God, a lack of faith. And while there's nothing wrong with being in good health, and there's nothing wrong with things going good in your life, and while that's a blessing and while that's good, be careful that you don't forget God in those times. And if you're going through a hard time, I want to remind you this is a great time to lean into God and get the strength from Him that you need, and get the help from Him that you need, and get the encouragement from Him that you need. This morning I was feeling a little bit discouraged, I guess you'd say. You know, it's been 2 weeks today since my surgery, and I'm really ready for really ready for this to be over. But I still have a ways to go in my recovery, and I haven't even got the staples out of my leg yet. Those come out tomorrow. But I got a message this morning from a friend and a co-pastor and somebody who spent part of his years growing up in my church, and he just said, "I just want you to know I'm praying for you." And so many people have done that. So many people have done that. I want to thank so many of you for the encouragement that you've sent. But, God just sends those things you need when you need them, doesn't He? And so we need to be reminded that God is with us. If you're going through a hard time, I want you to know God is with you, and He loves you, and He'll give you the strength that you need to get through it, and you will get through it, and God will be with you through it all the way. If you're going through an easy time, don't forget God, because He's just as important in the easy times as He is in the hard. We just don't always recognize it. Listen, I hope you have a great day today. I have physical therapy later this afternoon, and so those are always fun times, or not, but they're important and they're necessary. So thank you for all the words of encouragement you send, and I just pray God gives you a good day today, filled with lots of blessings. Take care.